Well, this is interesting. The forecast call for flurries, maybe a dusting. This looks like a whole lot more than that. At least maybe an inch or two of snow. Today will be interesting, to say the least. I live in the south. I'm not really used to traveling in snowy conditions, but I don't have a choice. I'm taking a look at what happened. Apparently a flipper thingy formed and dumped a bunch of snow here in Bismarck. But the weathercaster said it's going to be a great travel day, so maybe they cleared all the roads. Maybe it won't be so bad. It looks like another super cold day, a high of just 23 degrees. Taking a look outside before eating breakfast, and it's really cold. I think 18 or 19 degrees. And it looks much more than an inch of snow. What do you think? I'm traveling with someone that'll sweep off the snow. The hotel cleared the sidewalk. And great thanks to the Denver rental car place for including a snow brush. It only took about 5 minutes to sweep off all the snow. The snow was pretty dry. The windows had no ice at all. But I've seen a couple of cars trying to get out of the parking lot, and it's very slippery. I'm about to check out, and one more look outside the window, you see it's still snowing a little bit, and those tire tracks that I saw earlier are now filled in. The irony is, I was going to stay in Minot because they were forecasted to get 3 inches of snow, and Bismarck was going to get just a dusting of snow. But Bismarck actually got more snow than Minot. Oh well. Hey guys, Emily, welcome everyone! This is day 5 of my freezing cold road trip across the northern Midwest. Today's going to be a snow day. I'll be traveling from Bismarck to Fargo, staying pretty close to I-94. I did hear from a trusted source that Fargo is a hidden gem, so let's hope that's true. So let's head out on this snow day in central North Dakota. Let's go! Lots of salt and sand spread in the Simonson gas station parking lot. I don't need gas, but I thought it would be a good idea to get a full tank, just in case. Price is just $2.89 a gallon. I'm heading toward downtown Bismarck, and it looks like they plowed the road, but the roads still have this slushy, muddy, slightly icy look to them. And people are driving at or above the speed limit, believe it or not. Unlike the south, when we get an inch of snow, the businesses and schools and government offices are still all open. Now the North Dakota Capitol building, and there's quite a bit of snow on the ground here, easily 3 inches. It's very beautiful though. The Capitol building was built in 1934, is 241 feet tall, has 21 stories, and is still the tallest building in the entire state. There's an observatory on the 18th floor, and there are 60 million-year-old tree fossils on the property. The fossils were installed on the Capitol grounds in 1988. There was once a cabin on this property that belonged to Teddy Roosevelt. The cabin was relocated to Teddy Roosevelt National Park about 3 hours west of here. I want you to look at this. This is probably one of the creepiest statues I've ever seen. The statue is called Pioneers of the Future, which was installed in 1989. It's meant to show a pair of children, maybe young teenagers, in awe of what the future may hold for them. The statue is also lit up at night, which I think might add to the creepy factor. Don't you think? Here's a marker above the statue. It was sculpted by Jeffrey Barber, and the quote reads, "The path of the pioneer is not so much anymore the crossing of untouched land, but it is a path of knowledge through education that opens up unknown truths about ourselves." The marker says 1989 is the threshold of the new space age, and the young people will be the pioneers, carrying with them the heritage of North Dakota into the next 100 years. You're welcome for the extreme close-ups of the children. Now I'm on Interstate 94 heading eastbound. The roads are not terrible, but they are very slushy and muddy. And would you believe cops are here trying to catch speeders? Like, who's gonna go above 75 miles an hour? Actually, it looks like Bismarck got more snow than where I am now. Stopped in the city of Steele, North Dakota. I've seen a lot of world's largest things on this road trip, and I'm here to see another one. Behind the Cobblestone Inn Hotel is Sandy, the world's largest sandhill crane. It's 40 feet tall. Sandy was created in 1999 by James Miller, who taught himself iron welding and created this large sculpture. I think that was an 18-wheeler screeching his tires. No accident though, thank goodness. There's that truck over there that stopped short just now. You gotta be careful out here. These side streets are slippery. This is an homage to the sandhill cranes that migrate through here in the spring and fall. More about James Miller. He built the entire sculpture out of iron. The entire sculpture is one solid piece. It has a steel skeleton, and sheet metal surrounds that. The legs are steel piping. The finished product was tucked over here and installed. This other sign says this area is one of America's premier birding sites. This map shows a driving tour of the best birdwatching places near here. The Sandy sign will show you where the best fun pick opportunity is, but the problem is there's a lot of snow on the ground, so I'll just stick with taking pictures right here instead of trying to get the best spot. Just walking around a little bit, there are deeper spots in this field, and I don't want to trip and fall. This is another in a series of giant roadside attractions in North Dakota. Yesterday I saw Salem Sue, the Holstein cow. Now I'm seeing Sandy the crane, and I'll be seeing another giant animal statue soon. But in order to get there, I have to drive through this really slippery stretch of road. This is a little frightening. It's okay when driving in a straight direction, but at curves, it's much more difficult and it's really easy to overcorrect. And you notice the highway is pretty much empty, probably because all the smart people decided to stay home. Didn't the weather lady say it would be a great day for travel?
It will be a fantastic day for travel.
I hope she's right that it will eventually be a fantastic day for travel. I guess she's expecting the Clippard to completely pass through later today, because this is damn frightening right now. About an hour east of Steele, and thankfully not only for the clear skies, but also they plowed the downtown street through Jamestown. The population of this town is a little over 15,000 people. The city is often referred to as the Buffalo City. I first stepped in the downtown area, and I have to be very careful not to slip. The snow has covered not just the road, but the sidewalk as well. Take a look at this across the street. This is an interesting sculpture. The sculpture is made with stainless steel, bronze, and chrome. It depicts an eagle overseeing Jacob from the Bible, trying to obtain a blessing from an angel. It's kind of tough to see that. There's a close-up of Jacob on the left, looking like he's in some distress, and the angel is to the right, appearing to hold Jacob's head. This was sculpted by Elmer Peterson in 1974. The town wanted it completed before the 1976 bicentennial celebrations. According to this marker, the sculpture conveys the joy of celebration for the USA's 200th birthday. The reflective background represents the big sky of North Dakota, and like the angel finally giving Jacob a blessing, this represents a blessing to the people of North Dakota and the nation After overcoming various struggles with their self, the nation, and to find direction by building, reconstructing, and purifying. The sculpture weighs about 2,500 pounds and is 17 feet tall and 25 feet wide, and planning and construction took about 2.5 years. The sculpture stands in front of the Jamestown Veterans Club, which has a restaurant, pool tables, a bingo hall, and separate event space for large parties. Albert Peterson created another sculpture in Jamestown, an iconic roadside attraction, so let's head over there. I have to drive maybe a mile or so south of downtown. I'm pretty glad the sun came out, and I'm hoping for a nice day this afternoon. I guess the meteorologist was right. Anyway, the iconic roadside attraction is at the end of this road. I've arrived in Frontier Village, which is a small tourist area where they took original buildings from various frontier villages and restored them. And they've created this great place to do a little walking around. I am the only one here. Frontier Village is only open from Memorial Day weekend to mid-September. Many of these shops have historical items. Other stores sell antiques, locally created items, and other touristy gifts. They also have food trucks. Best of all, admission is free. They do have stagecoach rides for $10. There's a school, church, and bank that have been restored. They also have handed ice cream cones. Nearby is a restored train depot and a caboose. This is the old Northern Pacific Railroad depot that was originally built in 1880. The caboose has a different story. It's been closed for about 4 years because it's in disrepair. A local campground has decided to purchase the caboose and eventually move it there. The campground intends to restore it and convert it into an Airbnb. I'm now at the other end of Frontier Village, and there's still no one else here. I'm gonna swing around and show you what I'm here to see. Check out this gigantic buffalo at the end of the walkway. Interesting that nobody has plowed the road through Frontier Village, but they did plow this walkway, which I'm thankful for because this has been a little bit of an upward slope, almost at the buffalo, and it's absolutely massive. Take a look at the buffalo tracks on the walkway. I doubt an actual buffalo made these tracks, but it's a nice touch to see the tracks leading to this gargantuan bovine. I kinda like the snow on it, don't you? This is the world's largest buffalo, created in 1959, and it has a great name. Its name is Dakota Thunder. There's a marker in the stone, and it's got some snow on it. That's better. It says the buffalo is 26 feet tall, 46 feet long, 14 feet wide, and weighs 60 tons. The sculptor is Albert Peterson, who created the other sculpture I just saw. It's also made of concrete over a steel structure. Now say it with me. This thing is huge! Here's a marker that shows the giant buffalo being built. It looks like they built the entire thing from start to finish right here. Kinda like building a house, where they bring all the materials and construct everything on site. Interstate 94 was completed to Jamestown, and the Chamber of Commerce wanted something so big and magnificent that it would bring people off the thoroughfare to visit Jamestown. It certainly did in my case. I could have just stayed on I-94 and went straight to Fargo, but I wanted to see this big, magnificent beast. There's I-94 behind him. People on the interstate heading west probably get a distant view of his posterior. The professional food challenge blogger Randy Sandhill always mentions leaving no doubt. So since I'm here, I also wanted to leave no doubt. We're on a hill, which is a great view all around. and I didn't think to look toward the buffalo when I was in downtown Jamestown. That would have been very cool to see. This is a nice wintry view of Jamestown though. It looks great with all the snow on the ground. Dakota Thunder should definitely be on your must-visit list if your travels take you across Interstate 94 in North Dakota. I've seen a few of the world's largest sculptures in North Dakota in just the last couple of days, plus the giant turtle made of steel tire rims when I was much younger. Alright, this is much better. The road is just about dry, maybe there's a little bit of slickness, but nothing like a couple hours ago. This is great. Now continuing eastbound. Well, we've gotten back to cloudy skies, but it's not snowing, which is good. I'm probably about an hour away from Fargo now. And since the weather has improved, I'm gonna take the chance and get off the interstate. I have a late addition to my itinerary that I just saw, and I thought this was kind of interesting. I'm in the small city of Amenia, and it looks like a beautiful winter wonderland here. The sign says the community was founded in 1880. There are just 85 residents in the city. Amenia is part of the Fargo-Moorhead metropolitan area, so we're pretty close to the city of Fargo. In fact, the TV and radio broadcast towers are located here. There are lots of grain elevators next to the railroad tracks. I've driven just outside of the town to the Amenia Cemetery, which was established in 1888. There's an interesting gravesite located here, and isn't the cemetery beautiful with all the snow on the ground? This is a new experience for me, walking around cemeteries in the snow. Not far from that interesting gazebo with the green roof is a tombstone bearing the name of Chaffee. 3 from that family are buried here. But on the back is a notation for someone not buried here, named Herbert Fuller Chaffee. The reason is because he died when the SS Titanic sunk. His marker states he was lost at sea. Listen to this. Herbert and his wife Carrie boarded the only voyage of the Titanic. As that ship was sinking, Herbert pushed Carrie onto a crowded lifeboat. Carrie survived and made it back to the United States. Herbert was never seen again, presumed drowned in the frigid Atlantic Ocean on April 15, 1912. Herbert Chaffee was one of the wealthiest people to pass away on the Titanic, and possibly the only resident in North Dakota. How many of you are thinking of the Titanic movie right now? Do you think they borrowed that plotline from what happened to Herbert Chaffee? Herbert Chaffee sacrificed himself to save his wife, and that kind of seems similar to how Jack sacrificed himself to save Rose. The gazebo looks unique. I've never seen anything like that, with a tall-pitched green roof. Let's check that out. The gazebo has some reported ghost sightings. It's been reported a married couple danced inside of the gazebo at 12 midnight. It's very close to the Chaffee grave, so I wonder if that represents Herbert and Carrie dancing. I'm not really much into paranormal stuff like ghost sightings, but I guess some people really believe that stuff, so maybe this would be of interest to them. I'm about to drive to the city of Fargo, which is about 10 or 15 minutes away. The temperature all day has been right around 20 degrees, give or take a degree or 2. I'm ready for warmer weather. I'm leaving Interstate 29 and taking this off-ramp to Interstate 94 eastbound. 2 interesting things about this interchange. And you can see the flashing lights warning of ice. First, and maybe this isn't the best idea today with the weather conditions, this is the only stacked interchange in the entire state, which means a bridge that goes over a bridge that itself goes over a road. Second, it's the only intersection of the 2 mainline interstate highways in the entire state of North Dakota. I've now reached the city of West Fargo. and I'm at Crossroads Dental, which is right off I-94. I'm not looking to get some work done on my teeth, but I'm here to see this interesting sign that looks like a toothbrush. The sign might be obscured a little bit by all the electrical wires next to it, but this green toothbrush is 25 feet tall. It was installed when this dentist's office opened in 2019. Getting a close-up of the sign, it looks like there's some neon on the toothbrush handle, so maybe the sign lights up at night. Here's the wild thing. Dr. Nathan Nygaard has a twin brother, Ryan, that also has a dentist's office in the Fargo area. His father, Larry Nygaard, was the building contractor for this office. His older brother also helped build the office and now handles bookkeeping and other business decisions. Finally, both Ryan and Nathan Nygaard's wives are dental hygienists. Not too far away from the dentist's office is this very colorful bison. There are numerous painted bison in the Fargo metro area, commonly called the FM. But the FM stands for Fargo Moorhead, and Moorhead is on the other side of the Red River in Minnesota. By the way, there's a lot of snow here. Anyway, I'm at the Welcome Center. Just outside the Welcome Center is the Fargo Walk of Fame. It was founded by Mike Stevens, whom I believe is the person pictured on this marker. This was located in downtown next to Stevens' print shop, but it relocated here in the year 2000. He created the Walk of Fame and paid for the first 95 celebrities to be added because he wanted to repay his community that's been so kind to him. Unfortunately for me, I can't see the Walk of Fame because it's covered with snow. Also outside the Welcome Center is a woodchipper. In the movie Fargo, one of the characters is killed and fit into a woodchipper. That's really gory. But the sign says the actual woodchipper from the movie is inside. So what's outside here is a stunt double, so people can see a woodchipper during business hours. I'm now inside the FM Visitor Center, and this is the actual Eager Beaver woodchipper used in the movie, and they added a foot sticking out of the top. I've never seen the movie, it sounds gross. Fargo is a dark comedy written by Joel and Ethan Coen. A car dealer arranged to have his wife kidnapped, so he hired two men to kidnap her in order to get ransom money from his father-in-law. In exchange, the kidnappers would get a new Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra and half of the ransom money, or $40,000. The kidnappers were played by Steve Buscemi and Peter Stormare, and the film also starred Frances McDormand, who played a Minnesota police chief. In the movie, one kidnapper kills the other with an axe, then shoves his dead body through the woodchipper. Oh my good lord. The movie earned 7 Academy Award nominations, and Frances McDormand won Best Actress, and the Coen brothers, who signed The Woodchipper, won Best Original Screenplay. Now when people of a certain age think of Fargo, they recall the famous woodchipper scene, and this Welcome Center welcomes the attention. By the way, the woodchipper was not a prop. This is an actual working device once owned by the film's Dolly Grip, who bought it to trip up tree branches on his farm. The FM Visitor Center later purchased the woodchipper. There's also a few artifacts from the film. There's a winter hat worn in the film, and it looks like there are some scripts, some photographs, and a film reel. I still haven't seen the movie, and it still seems a little too gory to me, even though the film is a comedy. Hey, look at the name of that hotel. It's called Come On In. Getting a little closer to the center of the city of Fargo, and I've found a Muffler Man. I think there's only 2 Muffler Men in North Dakota. This one, and another one that I couldn't see because of the snow. Take a look on the roof. That's a Sinclair dinosaur. The familiar green dinos are found in almost every Sinclair gas station. This Lumberjack-Style Muffler Man was originally at an amusement park in New Jersey. It looks like he is held together by thick rope or cables. Some say this Muffler Man is a throwback to the Lumberjack statues seen in the movie Fargo. If so, maybe moving to the Welcome Center where I just was? I'm now in downtown Fargo at this large library. Next to this building is something, unusual. What in the heck is that? It's like some weird Santa and Rudolph type thing. Maybe I have Christmas on the brain, but this is actually the Sodbuster statue. The statue features a farmer plowing his field using 2 large oxen. The statue was created in 1982, and the sculpture had deteriorated due to weather damage. The city placed it in storage in 2002, and it took a while for funds to be raised to refresh the Sodbuster. Plans to renovate the Sodbuster were put on hold in 2006 when its sculptor Luis Jimenez was killed in an accident at his art studio. It took 13 more years to finally have the Sodbuster fully restored and then placed near the library. From this angle, you can definitely see both oxen and the man is definitely using a plow. From that other angle, he looked like Santa with an oversized reindeer. Merry Christmas, everyone! So what is a sodbuster? It's represented by this person. A sodbuster is a farmer who plows land, usually describing a late 19th century pioneer working on the hard western soil. Various kinds of prairie grass, which are indigenous to this part of the world, were planted around the sodbuster sculpture. The arrangement of the prairie grass was designed by the sculptor to accentuate how imposing the Sodbuster is. Still in downtown Fargo, I'm in an alley, and look what I found. This painted mural is a screenshot from the popular Super Mario Bros. Video game. How cool is this? It's like I've been transported back in time to an arcade. This is called the Fargo Mario Wall, and it was created by local artists Lauren Starling and John Atkinson, better known by their handles Dark Elvis and Icky Hiccup. This mural was painted in 2018, and this screen comes from the first level where Mario has to defeat a Goomba. Mario isn't present. This was on purpose, as the artist wanted people to play the Mario part for their fun pics. Because of the popularity of this wall, Lauren Starling created a much larger Mario wall at a business in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is a really fun find. Go check it out. I'm now pretty close to the runway at Fargo International Airport. You might be able to see a plane traveling on the runway. I've arrived at Holy Cross Cemetery, where a very famous athlete from Fargo is laid to rest here. The roads inside the cemetery look okay. I think the snow is really dry and hasn't melted, so I think I'll be okay finding the gravesite. There's an air traffic control tower out there, and it must have snowed a lot in Fargo in the last day or so. I can't even see the ground. The famous athlete buried here is Roger Maris, who is considered Major League Baseball's legitimate home run king. He had 61 home runs in the 1961 season, breaking the record set by Babe Ruth in 1927. Here's Maris's grave marker. I love the black color and the diamond shape. Below his last name, there is an image of a baseball player swinging a bat, and the number 61 and apostrophe 61 surrounded the bat. The epitaph reads, "Against all odds, I see a New York Yankees baseball cap, some baseballs, a rose, and other items on and in front of his grave marker." Here's the backside of the grave. It's very simple. It just has his last name of Maris. I mentioned Roger Maris is considered the legitimate home run king. And that's because a number of baseball players have hit more home runs, namely Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds, the current leader with 73 home runs. But those men use steroids, so many baseball fans believe those men cheated. And those fans say Roger Maris is a true king since he didn't use any performance-enhancing drugs. But Maris isn't in the Hall of Fame, probably because of his short MLB career. Now back in downtown Fargo, and I wanted to come back at nighttime so I can check out some of the lighting, including at this theater. This 870-seat Art Deco theater opened in March 1926 and restored in 1999. The set has always been a great place to watch a movie or listen to the symphony. When the theater opened, it hosted vaudeville entertainment. Fargo has pretty decent nightlife, which I didn't expect. It's after 8 p.m. and still lots of stores are open. And the parking areas along Broadway are pretty full. Then again, Fargo is the most populated city in North Dakota. The city has about 133,000 people, and the metro population has about 250,000 people. Fargo is considered a hub for the arts, healthcare, and manufacturing. North Dakota State University is close by. Back to the Fargo Theater, it has a Wurlitzer pipe organ that was there since the theater opened in 1926. It's the main venue for the annual Fargo Film Festival, which takes place in the middle of March. Maybe one day I can take a look inside. And that's it. I have some good news on my flight back to Atlanta tomorrow. Looks like my Spirit flight from Minneapolis is a go. I checked in for my flight, and it looks good to fly out tomorrow, on schedule. I was pretty worried since the news was saying that there would be a lot of flight disruptions since Spirit filed for bankruptcy. But I'm still a few hours away from Minneapolis, and there's still some more snow forecasted for tomorrow. So how will this road trip end? You'll find out next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!